Part 2, how to enter your quarterly data. So what you can do is you'll enter your data quarterly. What I was thinking was, because now that we are entering it and it is automatic, and I'll show you where the reporting is and where central office will be able to pull up your reporting, you can do this at the end of the quarter. That means, and we'll see how the department decides we want to do our reporting. That means that if you're track 1, 2, 3, 4, you could actually do it at the actual end of each quarter of each track and have it be consistent with those days. So you could create your groups based on tracks if you wanted, or you could do it based on schools, whatever the easiest for you. So I'm going to select all the kids, and again, I'm going to select data. And this is where I can enter it in this format where I can do it all at once. I'm going to select first quarter, most important. I'm going to go ahead and enter the days that the kid was absent just for that quarter. And while I'm here, I can enter any barriers or interventions that I now am doing or know about. And this is, again, just like everything else, you can hit the control button and that will help you select more than one if you wish. Control, select a couple, there's a couple, there are my interventions. I'm thinking it should take you about 10 minutes to do a reporting. Might take a little longer till you get used to it, but it shouldn't take very long at all to do each school. Gathering a few for you, just to show you the amount of time that it takes. That's right. Okay. And when I get to the end of my list, I'm going to hit update. Now again, if I go, you will see that there is my first quarter in my thing. There are my barriers and interventions. And what you will notice is, once you start using your screen, I take a few kids and go to data. This part where your days are, you're going to hit each quarter, and those will change as you enter them. The barriers and interventions are made to be cumulative. That means that this time, if you put interventions in, and next time you put different interventions in, they're going to add up. That way we capture as many interventions and barriers as possible throughout the year. So, once you get here, I am going to show you where you're going to go for your reports. And that will be the next part. One quick note, just FYI, you can also change your school code. So when kids move from school to school and we're supposed to put them on each other's PLT list, I can change my school code and it will show up in the other person's PLT list, just like a case would. When I do that, of course, I'll let the social worker know, send her email, give her a phone call. But when she goes to do her PLT numbers, if she has forgotten to add the kid that I told her she's getting, it's going to show up here. And it's going to show up in her school, and she's going to go to data to put them in. And she's going to be like, oh, yes, that kid is new to me, and I need to put them in with my PLTs. So that'll be a nice way of us not losing children between schools. The other thing you can do, and this also is a more of a how we manage our kids in the program, is when you take a kid off the PLT list, because say that they are, that it's like, okay, we actually find out that it's a medical thing, they're documented, it's chronic illness, they're not really PLT, they shouldn't be counted against us. I can delete this PLT. And when I delete it, and it says yes and I delete it, it's going to delete it from my PLT. So I'll delete Pepe Le Pew. So now Pepe Le Pew is not here. However, if I go to my regular cases, and I go to my student, and I search, and Pepe Le Pew is still in my regular cases. So by deleting an attendance case doesn't mean that you've deleted them off your regular case. It just means they're not in your PLT. They're not counted, but you still might be working with them. You still want to capture the work that you've done with them.